All right, and we are live, Chris.
Welcome to the Facebook Live broadcast of Your Home Show. This is Chris Weniger here along with Rebecca Guerrero. What are we doing? This show is all about your home, and we're looking to advise you and educate you, whether it be looking to buy your first house, moving up, moving down, or refinancing.
Yes, welcome back, everyone. We truly appreciate you tuning in to episode 37. And as always, we'll go over the market update, what's changed over the past week in the housing industry. And we do have our guest today, which is Cheryl Galazeski, or Girl with a Whiskey, as some people like to say, right, Cheryl, from Pass Along Gifts, who will tell us what Pass Along Gifts are and how they can brighten someone's day with one of them. So thank you so much, Cheryl, for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me. I'm looking forward to this.
Thanks, Cheryl, for being on the show. But first, before we get to you, we need to talk a little bit about a history in the market update. 86 years ago, the Lone Ranger was introduced. The Lone Ranger was a former Texas Ranger who fought outlaws in the old Wild West. He's an enduring American icon and is part of our American culture. So do any of you girls remember the Lone Ranger at all?
I do. I do.
No, I was a little young for that, so I've never watched a show, but for what it's worth, I know who he is. So I think that kind of counts.
Very good, very good. I think there was a remake a couple years ago with Johnny Depp in it, so we kind of back around. But
A little different from the original.
yeah. So the market update, what is going on? Here are the goods. Good homes are hard to find. Sales are up 21%. So again, sales are up 21%. Inventory is low, meaning there's not many homes for sale to meet the demand. So we're watching that $15,000 tax credit. Nothing's been passed by Congress yet, but stay tuned. What do you think is going to happen when that passes? We're already seeing low inventory. With that $15,000 tax credit, that's going to spark more activity in the market. And we already have an abundance of buyers right now, and there's not enough homes to sell. But buyers, you need to make sure you're well informed and get your pre-approvals looking the best that they possibly can. In other news, appreciation in the market is showing 10.5%. So homes are worth more than they were a year ago. Good for you if you're a seller. Also, the Fed came out this week and stated they're going to keep the interest rates low. They want to keep the people out there spending. Unemployment numbers are going to be coming up this next week. Now, remember, Rebecca and I like to watch that as far as kind of keep track of what's going on because that affects interest rates. Rates are still nice and low. Oh, don't think you have to be the Lone Ranger and trying to decipher all this information. Rebecca and I are here to help guide you through the wilderness of buying a home. Let us be your Lone Ranger.
Yeah,
That's great.
I love that, Chris. It makes me laugh every time that I see that in our little layout here. But yes, we truly do not want you to be the Lone Ranger. We want to be your partner to help you get that home because, like Chris said, and we cannot emphasize this enough, that there are not a lot of homes for sale. Inventory is so low, and now more than ever, it's more important to get that pre-approval before you start looking. I mean, I've been going out to open houses for the past month or so, and they are crazy busy out there. There are so many people at these open houses, and that's only what the open house shows. There's also been people scheduling tours to go look at them. So you are not the only ones out there looking at these houses. So make sure that you are set up with a good loan officer who gives you that pre-approval letter that you can have confidence in, and make sure you have that real estate agent that is going to work and fight for you because, like Chris, her favorite saying is win the deal. So we got to make sure that you have your, proper weapons to make that happen.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. It's interesting to see because in essence, even though with it being winter, there's still homes for sale a little bit. We may have been hearing that the more coming on the market comes springtime, so we're kind of waiting to see. But yet, it's so very important to make sure that you have a solid pre-approval going into making that offer.
Yeah, and there are a lot of people who are concerned about home prices being so high already, and I mean, the prices are going higher, and with the $15,000 tax credit, I think they could go even higher, but affordability is still there. I mean, the interest rates are very low. The income is rising a little bit all around. So, I mean, I can understand people's concerns with the price of the home, but when you look at big picture, affordability is still there.
What is the average home loan right now and price of a home in the market?
Depending upon what market that you're in, you know, average loan amount can range anywhere from
Do you know about?
105, depending upon where you're in.
I don't know if it's me, but Chris, is Cheryl frozen on
I think so. I think so.
internet connection?
My internet just said.
There you go. Now she's back.
Great day for this.
It's the weekend and your Wi-Fi is like, no, thank you. I'm tired right now. So, but to answer your question, Cheryl, like Chris was saying, it really depends on the area you're in. So Twin Cities wise, I don't have any sort of exact number because I am working with first-time home buyers. So my loan amount and price point is a little lower than some people in the Twin Cities, but you know, not everyone's putting the 20% down. I think the number for first-time home buyers anyways is like 73% put less than 20% down. So, you know, it's just one of those things to look at, that you don't need to have the 20% down to get into a home. You can have as little as even $1,000 of your own funds with those programs available. So I don't know if you have anything to say in your market, Chris, on what that kind of looks like.
First-time homebuyer loans is kind of is very popular, and there's a lot of great programs, especially the WIDA bond program, USDA rural development, and of course the federal VA loan if there's qualified veterans. Like we say at Cherryl, we love all the customers, but we really love our veterans. So if there's any way we can help assist them, we are there for them. So it's a great time to buy because you have a lot of options with regards to the different type of loan programs that are out there.
Yes, exactly. So we're going to get into your part, Cheryl. So we always want to start out with, tell us a little bit about you when you're not doing the pass along gifts. What is it that you like to do when you're not clocked in?
Oh, thank you. Well, thank you so much for having me here today. And I'm delighted to share a little bit about my background. I love, right now, I spend a lot of time with my grandkids. I have a daughter with 4 kids, and they're 8 and under. And so she's a very busy mom trying to figure out all this schooling at home and good things. So I end up spending a lot of time with my family. Love biking, getting outdoors, do some gardening, because flowers are really my favorite thing. So in the wintertime, I spend time painting them, which is kind of what got me to what I'm doing right now. And would you like me to just share from the beginning of how I got kind of started in what pass along gifts are a little bit?
Yeah, that was the next thing I was going to say. Tell us a little bit more about this. We want to know.
Well, my story is a little complicated. It started from my becoming disabled. And in that process of having a lot of physical challenges, I have rheumatoid arthritis that was aggravated by a rollover car accident, which knocked some cervical spine screws loose. So I really do have a screw loose. I get a lot of mileage out of that one. Anyway, nothing's ever my fault. I got a screw loose. But it caused me to need to stop working. And during that process, it was really dark and difficult to journey through. And I began to paint. I painted bright colored flower bouquets. And as I spread the paint on the canvas, I began to feel something because I was pretty numb after that process. The more I painted, the more alive I became. And so I got all these very bright colored bouquets, so you could see the kind of the tone of them, that I decided to start giving to people. Anytime somebody gave a compliment, I'm like, take one. But I realized, you're not going to want to live with this forever. So I said, when you're tired of it, don't throw it out. Don't stick it down in the basement. And don't give them back to me. Just pass it along to somebody else who will enjoy it. And then the idea came, why not create art that's meant to pass along? And then why not record the journey that it makes on the back and see where it's been and who it's touched and where it's going? And that is how this whole concept of pass along gifts began. So what I've done is I started out initially with my artwork, and I do reprints of it. And on metal, I reprint them on cardstock or magnets. But on the back is a section to fill out who it's going to, why you're giving it to them, and the date. And then in addition, we started to add an online feature, so you can go actually online and follow the journey. So you can, once you've given it to somebody, you can see where it goes, and it gets given over and over. And so the next person then enjoys it. These metal prints go on a nice little metal stand, and they can stand anywhere. But the point is that at some point you come across somebody who needs that message of joy, of happiness, of brightening their day. And then you re-gift it to them and then record that message and pass it along and along. And that's what I've been doing with my spare time.
Well, I love the story behind it and how it came to be. And you kind of touched on this a little bit, but tell us why. What is the why behind pass along gifts for you?
The why for me is looking for something and finding it. It's what we look for that we tend to find. And whenever we all go through challenges and difficulties. We all need encouragement. And especially now when we're isolated, we see the importance of connection, of really being present and being with people. And while we physically can't always be with somebody, we leave a piece of ourselves behind. And for me, and this was just my way of expressing my idea, which in this painting, you may not see it, but the word joy is hidden in there. And I did that because joy is always there. Sometimes we have to look for it. And if you look carefully, there's a J and an O, and then you see a Y there. And so the idea is that it's there, but you didn't notice it before. Now that you see it and you know to look for it, you find it. And I like to take other people's messages because it's not just my message, it's something else for other people. I like flowers, so I did a whole series of paintings for breast cancer. My mom and sister are both breast cancer survivors, and these were used to raise money for the American Cancer Society in making strides against breast cancer. And anybody who made a donation would then be able to get one of these and then see where it goes. And then I told them the words that were hidden in there. But I also do inspirational quotes. Just, these are double-sided magnets. And again, it's the message that somebody wants to share. It's their message that gets repeated over and over. And that's why I do it, is I think it's so important to build those connections with others. We don't do it enough. I know last week you had was National write a note time, and we don't spend enough time doing that, making those custom connections. And this is both, like a greeting card, but don't you feel bad when you get a really great greeting card? You have to throw it out. Oh, so I know, but how long do you keep them, And then what do? You stick them in a box, and eventually your husband says, you got too much junk around here, get rid of it. And then you sort of throw them out. You may keep a very few special ones, but you tend to throw them out. Why not re-gift it? And I just think it's a message the world needs.
Mm-hmm. So Cheryl, tell us, how can pass along gifts be used for personal or business?
So, well, of course, personal, we can all pass them to other people. We can just share notes of encouragement. But think about it, even from a perspective like you guys, and you work with people on a home loan, and you want to give them a little something at the end of closing. Well, why not give them a beautiful bouquet of flowers that isn't going to die? And then it also gets passed along to others who say, oh, you worked with Rebecca and Fairway Mortgage. I've heard of them. I'm going to check them out. And oh, not only that, I forgot to mention this. Every one of our gifts donates to charity. So 50% of our profits go right back into charity. Now, when I work with a client who wants to do custom designs, we can select the charity that you would like, and that gets noted on the back. So not only are you sharing, a message on the front, a vision of what's important to you, but on the values are also shared by the organization that you choose to support. It just says a lot about you in a way that other things can't. It spreads that goodwill, and you really don't know where it's going to go. And for a lot of businesses, they just want that giving back. We're really, companies today are very concerned about their eco footprint. So this is, very ecologically safe, and it gets regifted. We're receiving on throwing things out. But in addition to that, you're also spreading goodwill into the community. You're telling people that you're giving back without having to run a commercial on TV. But it's a subtle way. It's a nice, soft way of just spreading goodwill.
Well, and I wanted to make sure to let you know, I was not going to let you off of this call until we got to the charity piece.
Sometimes I forget about this. This is just a passion for me.
Right.
Thank you.
Yes, because I mean, not only are you giving it to someone that you feel needs it, deserves it, you want to give it to them, but you're also giving back to your community in a sort of way with, hey, not only am I trying to spread joy to you, but we're also donating the proceeds to whatever charity, like you said. And you kind of touched on this a little bit, and I'm not sure if people heard you exactly, but are they customizable so what if your flowers are beautiful. I've seen them all in person and I love them very, very much. But what if I have a business that flowers don't really make sense and I should have something else instead?
And that's what my passion is, to work with companies to find a design, an image, which is worth 1,000 words. We all know that. And then add a quote maybe with it, to put that together in a beautiful display that really tells something about you. So something like this, which was for a Christian networking group, where they put this together and they put a Bible verse on the bottom, and then in the background they put the different fruit of the Spirit. And so this, when they send this out to people, it really says a lot about who they are and the charity that they support and why they're giving this to people in their organization. That's my joy. It can be anything on the front. It doesn't have to be my artwork. It can be whatever it is that really speaks to you. And we want to work together to find the right thing, because as I said, those images and those words coming together really paint a bigger picture about you and about what you're trying to accomplish in the world.
Well, you
Maybe it's spreading it even
work.
to your, thank you. I was breaking up. I saw it in the internet thing. It said, ah.
So Cheryl, any last thoughts? We're going to put your information into
Thank you.
once we post it. So if anybody's interested in it at all, but any last thoughts you want to share with us?
No, just I thank you so much for having me and letting me share this. It's such a joy to me. I do this because I feel the world really needs me giving back, and I've taken and made lemonade out of the lemons that I was given. Becoming disabled when you're highly energetic and full of life, feeling like your life has passed you by, and getting this opportunity to give back is just, it's my life calling. And so I thank you for letting me share that. Thank you so much.
Yes, well, so I've gotten a few of your passed along gifts for my clients and my friends and family, and I truly enjoy sending them out to everybody. If somebody wants to get a hold of you to get some, how would they best go about doing that?
The very best way is through our website, which is passalonggifts.com. And you can go on there. There's a contact form if you've got specific questions. I'll get right back to you. That's probably the easiest because my name's Cheryl at Pass Along Gifts is sometimes difficult because of course I got those 2 R's in there. So if you just get to my website, you'll see examples of the images there. And then if somebody wants to create a custom design, then I would just contact me and directly. Thank you.
Very good. Very good. Well, thank you so much for being our guest and sharing all your beautiful work.
Thank you.
What a neat cause that you do. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
So guys, what do you want to know? What do you want to learn? We're always looking to hear from our viewers to see what topics of interest to you. So feel free to message us. Also, if you're interested in being a guest, spring times are booking fast. So, also, if you find this show of interest, please feel forward to share with your coworkers, friends, and family. Tune in next Saturday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time.
Yes, thank you again so much, Cheryl, for being on. We truly appreciate it. And I hope that people have wanted to spread joy because we do know it's not only winter time and that kind of stinks in the Midwest, but the pandemic puts another layer on top of that. So anything that we can do to spread joy, I think is a great thing. And Pass Along Gifts is a perfect way to do that.
Thank you.
Yes. So here we go real quick with the compliance piece. Your home show is sponsored by CG Home Loan Partners of Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation and MLS number 2289. We are licensed in Minnesota, Wisconsin, and California. Chris Weniger, NMLS number 225608. Rebecca Guerrero, NMLS number 1728384. And Carrie Guerrero, NMLS number 209015. Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation is an equal housing opportunity. This is not an offer to enter into an agreement. Not all customers will qualify. Information, rates, and programs are subject to change without notice. All products are subject to credit and property approval. If you have not done so, please find us on Facebook at Your Home Show. Like, follow, comment, and like Chris mentioned, if you want to be a guest or want someone that you know to be a guest, please send them our way. We would love to get them scheduled for us. So we will see you next weekend at the same time. Thanks, everybody, and have a great weekend.